This is the Padres Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Diego Padres. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, Padre fan? Welcome to your Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, here after every game. Good, bad, terrible, awful. I don't know if I've gotten to the adjective yet that describes tonight's loss in Arizona, with Robert Suarez just not getting it done on the bump. And just, wow, what a bad night for the Diamondbacks, against the Diamondbacks, rather, for the Padres to lose 8-7. In the middle game of the series, you had this game won. You're up 7-3. You give up 5 runs. Count them, 5. In the bottom of the ninth, you bring in your closer in a non-save situation just to get him some work, and he blows it. This is the worst outing of the season for Robert Suarez. I mean, I don't think there's anything worse than what happened tonight, but, you know, you get back at it tomorrow. You're dropping in the standings. Giants and Dodgers tied at the top. D-backs coming up, nipping on the heels now in a game that the Padres should have won. This is your Padres Postcast. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Got a whole bunch of things to do and a short time to do it in. First things first, want to remind you, though, that we love having you here, and we talk about this all the time, right? Day in and day out, you everydayers. You know how we feel. You newbies, welcome aboard. This is Padres Postcast. We also do Locked On Padres Podcast right here on the same channel, watching live on YouTube. Also, wherever you listen to your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, Podbean, iHeart, and also you download OTT. Yeah, you know me, this whole party. There is no party tonight. Definitely no party tonight with all the protests and then with this terrible result in the game today with the Padres. So Padres Postcast, thank you for being here, making us your first watch or listen every day. Myself and Javier Reyes, he does the podcast. I do the postcast. Oh, yeah, all those things happening for you right here on these channels. And today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins with FanDuel. All right, Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. We are rolling now. Padres Postcast and the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. We missed you yesterday. Had issues with StreamYard and couldn't get that going, so it was one of those tough nights. But we are here tonight. Padres Postcast, Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. 8-7 Diamondbacks. They scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning, and they are not a good offensive team. Yeah, we'll tell you how it happened, and we'll try to put it to bed. Padres Postcast, Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Let's get it going. Full speed. Let's roll.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Oh, no, Perdomo. Perdomo is the guy tonight for the D-backs. And look, you got Suarez, just didn't have it tonight, man. He didn't have it at all. And, you know, it's a shame when you see what happens. It's 1 out in the 9th inning, and Robert Suarez just gets lit up again like he did against Anaheim. And, you know, he was shaky for a few games after that. But how many times can your closer, can the guy who leads MLB, how many times can you get lit up? You know, guys like Trevor Hoffman, for example, made a living out of coming back from nights like this. And it happens when you're a great closer. You're going to have nights where you just get lit up. And Robert Suarez had that night tonight. Robert Suarez definitely had that night tonight. And, you know, it was not a good outing at all for Suarez. And we'll tell you how it happened. But just legitimately, when I think about this game, it was all about Suarez. I mean, you had the lead early, right? Gavin Sheets, it's a homer. Big night for Sheets. Good night for Manny Machado, man, and Fernando Tatis turning things around as well. But Manny Machado with another, he's been great. The huge OPS, the homers, the average, and in this last month, Manny's been on fire. Absolutely been on fire. So let's get to it. What do you say, right? Padres just, these are the games that when you miss something by a game at the end of the season, or you lose the division by a couple games, and you just look back and you go, damn, one of these nights. And I think people are idiots. I think a lot of people are idiots, but I think people are idiots when they talk about baseball and they say, hey, oh, these games matter more when you get to the end of the season, and oh, you really got to be rocking for the stretch run, and oh, you better do something at the deadline because later on in the year it's really gonna, you know what I mean? No, every game means the same. 162 games. I don't care if it's opening day, today, or the end of the season, man. Every game matters the same. It counts for the same in the standings. And you know, too many times, look at the Anaheim game, because they're not the LA Angels. There's nothing LA about them. You know what I mean? But here we go. Geraldo Perdomo. Oh, man. It's like tobacco or Perdomo. Geraldo Perdomo, bases loaded, triple ties the game. Josh Naylor, former Padre, infield hit, scores Perdomo with the winning run. 5 runs. Sorry, it's for my boy Booker T, my partner on ESPN Radio when the UFC events come on. The 5-time. So now he's the 6th time, but 5 runs in the 9th. 8-7 the final. It was more like a 1-8-7 because it killed the Padres. Hey, that was pretty good. 1-8-7 on the Padres closer. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Smith, Moreno, and Thomas single against Suarez. He takes the loss, 1-2. Non-save situation, of course. Ketel Marte's in the middle of it. Pain in the butt that he is. Infield single, scores a run, and then Adrian Morejon comes in for Suarez. Can't record an out. Naylor with a grounder to first. Luis Suarez, who's not a first baseman, but a nice job charging the ball. A little bit of a high hop, comes in, fields it, guns it to the plate. Throws a little high, but, man, it was a close play. And just unable to get it done. Elias Diaz couldn't get the tag down in time. Perdomo beats the throw home. Beautiful head first slide. You noticed that, Gavin Sheets, when he went in feet first the other day. And I was railing on the show for probably 5 of the 15 minutes that, hey, it wouldn't kill you to slide head first at home. Perfect example tonight. Perdomo goes in feet first like Sheets did the other day. Then, Sheets, you're out. Perdomo head first. He was safe. So Eugenio Suarez, the 3-run homer in the 5th off Ryan Bergert was a huge one because it made it 3-1. Diamondbacks, Corbin Carroll has the team lead with Suarez. They each have 20 before the All-Star break. The Diamondbacks aren't used to those kinds of numbers. Zach Gallen, 4 runs, 6 1/3 innings, walked 4, struck out 5. Good job by the Padres getting to Zach Gallen, And Ryan Bergert made his 3rd career start tonight. 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, struck out 8. You like the K's there. 12th home run of the year for Sheets. He went 3 for 3. Jackson Merrill caught stealing to end the 7th inning. Slid head first, tagged on the helmet. The helmet came down, hit him in the bridge of the nose. So either the helmet hitting him or the ball hitting the helmet, something on the head. He walked off under his own power, but and it's interesting because he hasn't had much power this year. I mean, I know he got hurt. I shouldn't be taking a shot at him, but come on, man. We need a cleanup hitter. Enough's enough. Marte barely beats the infield single out. Would have been the 2nd out of the inning. And, of course, Perdomo just rips it down the line in the right field corner, and nothing Fernando could do there. First time for the D-Bags over 500 since May 23rd. And, again, it's just tonight it was Suarez blowing it. Night in and night out, day in and day out, I tell you all the time, the offense isn't going to cut it. They're not going to cut it. And, by the way, Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, Padres Postcast, Lockdown Podcast Network, your team, every day the Padres. Podcast with Javi, postcast with yours truly. We're on the same channels here on YouTube Live right now. So smash that subscribe button. So, hey, the rising tide continues to lift all boats. You know what I'm saying here with the Padres family here. And then the Fryer family, faithful fanatics, whatever you want to call them. And, of course, you can come on in and talk to us in the chat on any of the platforms. We'll get back to you. You can ring the bell. But make sure you subscribe wherever you are. But just a tough one tonight for the Padres. Nick Pivetta tries to salvage something so they can take 1 of the 3 after the loss yesterday as well. Merrill Kelly will pitch the finale for the Diamondbacks, or the D-Bags, as I like to call them. So just not a good look, not a good night for the Padres all the way across the board. See, the numbers are good. The YouTube show, really appreciate all the people who have, you've been killing it with the downloads on the audio version of the podcast as well. So what do you say we take a peek now at exactly how this happened? And we got a couple of things to do. We got your player of the game coming up, your star of the game. We got the turning point, of course, and all those things coming your way. But first things first, let's get into a little bit of what happened in this game tonight. And it's just a shame because you had a huge lead going into the 9th inning, right? And that's one thing that it's inexcusable when your closer does this, and he's done it twice now. The Anaheim game and now this game, and it happens, right? It happens, but that's why you have to have such thick skin as a closer. All right, so look, 8-7 is the final. The Padres scored 2 in the 9th to make it 7-3, and you're like, dude, it's a wrap. Doc say it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You had 11 hits, 7 runs on 11 hits, no errors for the Padres, 8-9-1 for the D-Bags, who score 5 times in the 9th. So 1 in the 2nd, 4 in the 7th, 2 in the 9th for the Padres, right? And then the Diamondbacks, 3 in the 4th, the 3-run homer off Berger, and then 5 in the 8th inning. Suarez takes the loss. He's 1-2, a third of an inning, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, and a strikeout, no walks. Ginkel's the winner for the D-Bags. 1 inning pitch, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 strikeout, a walk. Meanwhile, for Arizona, the winning team tonight, Perdomo, 2 for 3, 2 runs scored, 3 RBIs. Of course, had the 3-run triple. Marte, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 RBI. Got to throw him in there. Same for Naylor, the former Padre, hitting 300. He was 1 for 5, had an RBI and a run scored. Suarez had the 3-run homer, 1 for 3 on the game. For the D-backs on the mound, Gallen went 6 1/3, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, and a homer. Thompson gave up a run. Ginkel gave up 2 runs. 1 was earned. Beeks. Follow my Beeks. They always Beeks. It's really a nose. But 1 inning, 1 hit, nothing else doing there. Meanwhile, for the Padres, the pitchers were, some of them, just, I don't want to say Bergert was dreadful. Suarez was trash tonight. Obviously, just complete and utter trash this outing for Suarez. I'm not saying he's trash. I'm not saying anything about, that. I'm saying he was, from a pitching standpoint, just complete garbage tonight. So offensively for the Padres, a little bit of good news, silver lining here. Fernando Tatis Jr., the terrible month of May at 183, the awful start, first half of June, finally getting going in this series. Got some things going yesterday, tonight. You got a couple more hits, 2 hits, 2 runs scored, 2 RBI. For Fernando, Suarez had 2 hits. Machado was 1 for 4, had a 2-run double, big one in the 7th inning after Fernando had a 2-run single. So they're down 3-1. Fernando ties it with a 2-run single. Manny puts them ahead with a 2-run double. And you're thinking, hey, ball game. Jackson Merrill 1 for 3, but he struck out 2 more times. Still hitting 304, though, but he's not a cleanup hitter. We don't have a cleanup hitter with the Padres. Gavin Sheets, 3 for 3, had the solo homer, learning to hit the off-speed stuff a little bit better. 2 runs scored for Gavin Sheets, 1 for 3 with a run scored for Jake Cronenworth. Meanwhile, on the mound for San Diego, Bergert was good, but not great. He went 5, gave up the 3-run homer later in the outing to Suarez. Otherwise, it would have been amazing if he could have gotten out of there without that. But 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks for Bergert. Matsui, a scoreless inning. Estrada, a scoreless inning, although he walked 2, struck out 2 to make up for it. Jason Adam, 1 hit in a scoreless inning, and then Suarez lined up in the non-safe situation. Got to get him to work, right? Third of an inning, 5 hits, 5 runs, all earned. Just trash, Robert Suarez tonight in Arizona. And Morejon didn't record an out, give up the infield single to end the game. All right, Padres Postcast and your Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. We're here after every game with the Postcast. The podcast with Javi, day in, day out. You're not going to find better Padres coverage anywhere. He's been doing it since before the pandemic, building up that audience. Speaking of which, come on in and subscribe wherever you are, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Roku, whether you're on Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, wherever you are, come on in, subscribe. Talk to us in the comments, mailbag if you're on YouTube. You can do that as well. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Got to get to a break right now. Tell you about some outstanding products and services from some of the best companies in the world who love to work with us because they want to get to you. Why? Because you're the greatest audience in the world. And we love you. We still have the star of the game, the turning point of the game, and look ahead of tomorrow. But man, oh man, oh man, what a bad loss. We'll look at the standings as well. Padres Postcast, Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. 8-7 Diamondbacks. They scored 5 in the 9th off your boy Suarez. And no matter what happens with the Padres as the audience continues to soar, thank you very much. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Padres Postcast, Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Let's keep it real. Coffee is not just a drink, and you needed it to stay awake in this game tonight. Good Lord, just killing you, right? The Padres. But coffee, not just a drink, it's a ritual, a lifeline, the thing that gets you from half asleep to fully functioning. And if it's that essential, why settle for anything less than amazing? That is where Trade Coffee comes in, my friend. Absolutely the #1 coffee destination in the U.S. is... Time's up. Trade, delivering fresh, incredible coffee from over 50 of the country's top roasters. Whether you're a cold brew fan or a pour-over purist, how about that? They've got a roast you'll love. I love to talk about my experience with the coffees I've tried from Trade, or my subscription itself, the taste, the smell, the quiz, right? The quiz only took a minute. And then they get your profile. It's my coffee profile. But I like to throw them a curveball. Hey, I like this, but I like this, and I also like that. And I got no problem. They had it all squared away for me. It only took a minute. First bag they sent me, spot on. Absolutely. The coffee was fresh. It smelled amazing. And honestly, ruined grocery store coffee for me. I was never doing that anyway. I'll keep it real with you. The first match isn't perfect. Trade will replace it for free until they get it just right. I love that their prices are comparable to the grocery store brands, but the flavor is a whole different level. And right now, hey, it's your time to get that coffee because Trade is exclusively offering our customers 50% off your 1-month trial at drinktrade.com/lockedonmlb. That's TRADE.com/lockedonmlb for 50% off your 1-month trial. drinktrade.com/lockedonmlb. And of course, no spot break would be complete on the Locked On Podcast Network without talking to you about FanDuel. The NBA Finals are in full swing. OKC and Indiana. Does anybody know? It's like the tree in the forest falls if no one watches or sees it or hears it. Did it happen? Are the NBA Finals actually happening? I don't know. But with Major League Baseball in full swing, with the NBA Finals in full swing, every night delivering highlight-worthy performances. How about SGA for the Thunder? Highlight-worthy performances every night. Major momentum shifts and also momentum shifts. And can't miss moments, whether it's a game-winning shot, a breakout player, or something else during the game. There's never been a better time to get in on all the action. That's right. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live. With player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays, fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. Which players are showing up at the biggest moments, and how could tracking their trends help you build your next bet? How could a $200 bonus bet add to the excitement if your first $5 bet hits? You need to ask yourself these questions. These are important. And if you're new to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com, place your first $5 bet, and if it wins, you'll get this shining fiddle made of gold. You'll get $200 in bonus bets, but if you lose, the devil won't get your soul. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. On the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Yeah, baby. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, or as my boy Booker T loves to call me, Grieshaber. Oh, every time there's a UFC pay-per-view, you can catch me on ESPN Radio with the great Booker T. You got to love that, right? You got to love that, or at least I do, because I'm having a lot of fun doing it. We have someone coming in to say what up in the comments. This team is not a playoff team, giving me 2021 and 2023 vibes. And what about last year, right? You got Luis Suarez, and then you bring in Tanner Scott at the deadline. You had a bunch of other things happening too, Jason Adam. And this year, this team is hurting, man. This team's hurting. You know, you didn't think you'd miss Profar that much, that bat, that one extra bat in the lineup. And you know, no matter what Sheets is giving you, for goodness sakes, the Sheets is high. No, I don't know about that. He's not a cleanup hitter. He's not a left fielder. He's a positionless player who can't hit off speed and breaking balls, although he hit one out tonight. Good on him. Blind squirrel acorn. You know what I'm saying? But he's a fastball hitter, dead red, and he's a 6'7" slot guy without a position. And on this team right now, and look, I like the way Arise plays first, but first base is a power hitting position. If you do not have a power hitter at an unpower hitting position, and that's a dumb way to say it, you know what I mean? The power hitting positions, first base, third base, outfielders, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's a catcher, not usually. If you don't have a power hitting first baseman, that means you got to have a power hitter at another position where you might not traditionally have one. And on top of that, the best power hitter on your team is leading off. So that means you don't have anybody in the middle of the lineup to do it. And Jackson Merrill, I love the dude, but he's a 3-hole or a 6-hole guy, maybe a 5, but he's not a cleanup guy. Manny in the 3 spot, I love him better at the 5. Okay, Manny at the 3, especially the way he's been hitting lately. You know what I mean? But there's a big bat missing in this lineup. You don't have it in first base. You don't have a left fielder at all. You're getting nothing from left field. I don't want to see Jason Hayward again. I don't want to see Brandon Lockridge anymore unless he's a utility guy. And even then, adios, you had your shot. Tyler Wade, I'm done with him. Watching Sheets try to play left or first base, he's going to kill himself or get someone killed out there. And he can't hit off speed or breaking. So what are you going to do? What you gonna do, brother, when the largest arms in the world choke the life out of you, except the version of the largest arms in the world that's choking the life out of you right now is from within because you do not have that dude in the middle of this lineup. You want to throw Manny and Tatis and Merrill out there against Freeman, Betts, and Ohtani and all those other dudes they have there? Judge and Bellinger and Goldschmidt and all those dudes in New York when Giancarlo plays his 15 games a year and then hits 10 home runs in the playoffs? You know what I mean? You do not have it, San Diego. You are the San Francisco Giants right now. Now, you have better players in your lineup than the Giants do, but neither one of you can hit. The Giants are winning one-run games like crazy. I mean, they've won 7 one-run games in the last week and a half. It's just absurd. And now they're tied with the Dodgers. The Dodgers are basically throwing you and me out there to pitch. Look at this audience just going through the roof right now. Thank you so much. While you're here, please subscribe. Come on in and say hi. And obviously, you're watching live on YouTube. And if you're listening after the fact, right, on Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iHeart, Apple Podcasts, or you're watching on Roku after the fact, you can watch us live right after the games on YouTube, or you can keep on going with the downloads and stuff. The podcasts have been huge. So thank you. And while you're here, come on in and say, what's up? JD's third. What's going to happen with Campy? It just isn't working. I mean, do you really care about Campusano? The dude goes down and tears up minor league pitching. But hey, wouldn't you know there's a difference between big league pitching and minor league pitching, and you're not getting the ABs every day. You don't have a position really on a big league field. You just don't. If you're Campusano, you don't have anything, all right? You can hit. You could be a spot starter. You could be a pinch hitter. He hasn't shown he can be that elite pinch hitter. I'd love to see Sheets be that guy off the bench. That's how loaded I'd love to see this team be. I don't think Sheets is a starter, everyday player. Maybe a platoon DH. Maybe I'm being harsh. The guy's got 12 dingers, but he can't hit off speed and he has no position. So I've just had it. I've had it. Meanwhile, numbers are huge right now. Thank you so much for being here. Please smash that subscribe. Come on in and say hi. Leave us a note. The numbers are huge live on YouTube. And I know that if you're listening after the fact, those numbers, that audience through the roof. And the Roku's doing well also. So really happy right now. All right, couple of things to get to, but not with the way the team's playing. Campusano, come on, right? Yeah, I mean, Diaz, Borg, Wendy, Camp all need to be traded. But what are you going to get? You know what I mean? And I don't even know who you're talking about. Who's Wendy? We need to make some serious roster changes. Diaz, Borg, Wendy, and Camp should all be traded. Our priority right now should be securing a solid left fielder, says Chris Dolce. But he's a Niner fan, so we have to question him just a little bit. Sorry, Chris. I tell you that, man. But look at this audience. Smash the subscribe. Hit that bell so you know when we're coming your way with more content. Myself with the postcast. Javier Reyes with the podcast. But, there's only so much we can say about this crap night in and night out. But you can talk about the lineup. You can talk about the runs scored all you want. This game was 8-7, right? This game was 8-7, and Suarez blew it tonight. He hasn't been getting save situations, all sorts of things there, but I just don't understand why. I mean, I understand why you'd pitch him tonight in a non-save. You want to get him to work, but what a disaster for Suarez. You put him out there with a huge lead, and he blows every bit of it. He's charged with every run, all 5 of them. And between the years as a closer, and we got spoiled with Trevor Hoffman for a long time, right? But you know what has happened when you haven't had Trevor Hoffman. You have an elite closer. He leads the majors in saves. Maybe the most valuable component any closer can have, and I say maybe because you got to have great stuff, right? And you're coming in a game they haven't seen you yet. Got to have great stuff to be a closer. Electric stuff, right? Got to be sliding down Electric Avenue, rock down to Electric Avenue. You know what I'm saying with the closer stuff, but almost equally important right there with it is right here. The ability to bounce back from a trash outing. And Robert Suarez outing tonight was absolute trash. Speaking of which, we got a couple things to do, short time to do them in, starting with the point where the game was lost.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
I mean, just an awful outing for Robert Suarez. It's just something that there's not enough lipstick to put on this pig for me to try to make it seem better. Ryan Bergert gave up the 3-run homer that made it 3-1. And then Fernando with a 2-run single in the 7th. Manny with a 2-run double in the 7th. Makes it 7-3. 5 runs for the Diamondbacks in the 9th inning. 5 runs for the Diamondbacks in the 9th inning. And where in the heck is this picture? It's the one behind you. We'll just use the one behind you. I don't even need to pull it up. Look at Robert Suarez coming off the field. Everybody's there. Suarez is there, and Cronenworth is there, and Xander Bogaerts is there, and Manny's there. And why can't I move my hand the right way? It's backwards. Anyway, Schulte just didn't expect to have to do that tonight. You see Diaz there. You're not going to get a lot of hitting out of these catchers. Diaz, Maldonado, they're outstanding defensively. I think you're okay there. Anybody who's calling for new catchers and all those things, I think you're all right there. So your turning point is when Suarez came in the game and decided to just absolutely trash this game tonight. And I say decided. He didn't decide to do it, obviously. But when Schulte brings him in after Adam pitched a scoreless 8, easy win for the Padres, get on out of here. And it became anything but for Robert Suarez. And I can tell you all about it. I could take you through hitter by hitter. I don't know if it'd do any good, but I could, but Robert Suarez in this game, you're talking about 5 earned runs. Gave up all 5 earned runs, 25 pitches. He struck out 1. Only 1 out was recorded in the bottom of the 9th inning because that's how the D-backs won it. They walked it off. Walk it off. Now Westside walk it off. You know what I'm saying? So Adam pitched a scoreless inning. In comes Suarez to start the 9th. 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 strikeout. Only recorded an out. Just a terrible performance by Robert Suarez. And if you even want to call it a performance, because it wasn't. It was jack squat is what he gave you tonight. And, I'm going to be hard on him. You're a closer. It's your job. It's Major League Baseball. And you're not a little kid or a baby, so you get what you get. And I have no affiliation to the team. We don't. We're just here for you. We're here to break it down and tell you what happened. What happened is Robert Suarez sucked tonight. Smith singles to right. Moreno singles to right. Smith goes to second. Thomas singles to center. Moreno to second. Smith to third. Then, hey, Corbin Carroll. Everybody screaming in the state of Arizona. Everyone's screaming in the state of Arizona. And, oh, baby. Strikes out swinging. So thinking, all right, Suarez, let's get a double play ball. Get the hell out of the inning. What happens? He makes a pretty good pitch to Marte. Infield single to shortstop. Infield single to short. Everybody's safe. Just kind of like Freddie Freeman's infield single to third the other night. You just want to smash your head into some concrete because of it. It's ridiculous because a play like that from a guy like Marte, I understand. It was a nice play made on the ball. And a charging Bogarts and a 1-hopper to first, dug out beautifully by Suarez, who made 2 really nice plays in the 9th inning. No out was recorded on either one of them. One of them was the game-winning run. I'll get to that in a minute. So Marte, the infield single, and then you get Smith scoring. It's 7-4. No biggie. All you need is record an out, get a ground ball, something, anything. No, here comes Perdomo. And yeah, triples to right. Moreno, Thomas, Marte all score. Every yeehaw cowboy with the jacked up trucks and the 50-inch tires in Arizona's going crazy. You know what I mean? And then Suarez, the damage is done. Yeah, but the damage is done. And here comes Morejon, nailer, infield fielder's choice, a high chopper toward first. Luis Suarez got a great break on the ball, running in full speed, fields it cleanly, beautiful throw on the transition, just a little bit high. And hey, Perdomo, who obviously scored the winning run, but drove in the 3 that tied it. So he drives in 3 and scores 1, responsible for those 4 in the 9th, 4 of the 5. And the crowd goes nuts. Obviously the Padres lose the 2nd in a row in Arizona, and just a terrible situation. And hey, Gavin Sheets, Perdomo slid in head first. Sheets was thrown out at the plate the other day, sliding feet first. So I'm going to give him crap for that because everybody thinks Sheets, let's say he's the clear. No, he's not. He's a platoon player. He's a platoon player. Look at his history. He can't hit off speed. He doesn't have a position. He's a platoon player. So Suarez coming in, getting jacked tonight. Big turning point in this game. And look at this audience we have. Thank you so much for being here on YouTube. Please join the family. Subscribe to the channel. You'll get the postcast after every game. You'll get the podcast day in and day out with Javier Reyes. I'm Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, GRIES, at Jim Grease _ on social media. Of course, if you're not here live, you're listening or watching after the fact, we love you too on Roku and, of course, on Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, Apple, iHeart, wherever you get your podcasts. And while you're here, you know what I mean? Where's TN? If they don't trade for a left fielder, catcher, starting pitcher, and minimum, I don't see them making the playoffs. You don't need a catcher, dude. The catchers are good. They don't hit great, but look around Major League Baseball and tell me how many catchers are great hitters. So I would disagree with you with the catching. I think with Diaz and with Maldonado, they have guys that are real comfortable with. The bullpen's been great this year with all the uncertainty and the injuries. Let's not forget Musgrove. Who knows about you Darvish, right? Who knows? And then, of course, King. All you want to be is Diggy down, but not down and out. He's out. You want to be down with the king. You want the king to be down with you. Cease having a down year. It's been the catchers who have held this staff, the pitching staff, together. So I don't agree with you, TN, on the catcher. Starting pitcher, yeah, you need a lefty. You definitely need a lefty. And, it's just crazy when you see the Dodgers having 14 pitchers out, and that lineup is 1 or 2 in every category. But you can't not have that, because you thought maybe Hart would be the guy. No, Kyle Hart attacked, did not get it done. Lefty in the bullpen, Morejon, Matsui, they've been great, but they're no Tanner Scott. And then with Suarez struggling the way he has, you wonder, why couldn't we have kept Tanner Scott instead? So, TN, thank you for the comment, but I don't believe that you're going to see them make a huge move with the rotation. I think you're going to see them make a move, get like maybe a 3 or a 4 in there, because Pavetta's been sliding lately. Bergert, Kolek, Hart, Vasquez, to me, they're all stopgaps, and who knows with you, Darvish, what's going to even happen there. But it might be too late if AJ waits for the trade deadline, says JD's third. You're not that far back in the standings. And I got to end the show. But it really is a situation where you're in an amazing division. Our stars need to be more consistent and have a sense of urgency. Schilt needs to do a better job managing. We're going to get all kinds of comments like that until they start playing better. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, Padres Postcast. Huge numbers right now. Thank you so much for being here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team all day. One more thing to do before we get on out of here. Let's do it.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Oh, man. All right. Well, the player of the game does not wear a Padres uniform, but I mean, how many times are we going to just keep giving it to a player from another team? There's Perdomo, right? And there's Suarez who hit the 3-run homer earlier. Those are the 2 players of the game right there. I mean, from a Padres standpoint, you got, Holy Sheets had the solo homer early in the game, had the 3 hits. You know what I mean? It's a big one from Sheets. There he is. He was all excited. Bergert was good except for the homer he gave up. You know what I mean? Merrill was okay with the injury. So really, those are the guys. And the Padres, it's been an up and down year. And there's Fernando, and Fernando's been getting a lot better lately. A couple of hits, drove in the runs with a 2-run single. Manny hit the 2-run double. You're up big, 7-3. You're up 7-3. Fernando ties it, and Manny puts you ahead, and then, man, oh, man, just doesn't end up working out. So that's your, right here, one more time, your stars of the game, Suarez and Perdomo for the Diamondbacks. And tomorrow you have got the series finale, and now you have no chance to win the series, but you can steal a game. And, in this situation right now, you need every game you can get because you're falling further back in the standings. So 1:10 first pitch, it's going to be Nick Pivetta. Last couple of times out have been tough, right? Against the Giants, he gave up a 5-run lead, or 3 of those 5 runs anyway. And Nick Pivetta has not been the same these last couple of outings. And the Dodger game, after the Giants game, he went 4 innings and gave up 5 runs, 4 earned on 8 hits. 6 hits against the Giants before that, 6 hits against the Pirates before that, and 4 hits against the Braves before that. So the last 4 outings for Pivetta have not been very good. King's still out, not looking to come back till July. Darvish, late June into July. Musgrove out for the year. So what you going to do? I mean, we do need someone in that rotation. I'm not disagreeing with you guys, but man, you really need a left fielder to get that offense popping. And so Pivetta will take the mound for the Padres, and they are, you know what I mean, they're underdogs again, plus 115 on the money line, plus 1.5 on the run line, with an over-under of 9.5. So Merrill Kelly's going to pitch for the D-Bags, or as I used to call them when they won the World Series, the Diamondbackins, because they backed into the playoffs that year. So 6-2 with a 3.18 for Merrill Kelly, and Merrill Kelly has been pretty good lately, his last 2 starts. Now, he had a bad run of 2 starts end of May. St. Louis and Washington roughed him up for a total of 10 runs, 8 earned in just 11 innings. But his last 2 starts hasn't given up a run. 1 hit in 7 innings against the Braves, 4 hits in 6 innings against Seattle, 15 combined strikeouts his last 2 starts. So that's why the Diamondbacks are favored tomorrow. First pitch 1:10 on your Sunday. Happy Father's Day to all my fellow dads out there from all of us at the Locked On Podcast Network. And look at these numbers through the roof. More on that in a minute. But man, enjoy some Father's Day baseball tomorrow. And we are here right after with the postcast. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. My 3 kids have been my world. I have a 23, an 18, and a 16. My daughter's the middle, about to have a grandson. Now, I'm not about to have them, but you know what I mean? So I'm going to be a grandfather within the next couple of weeks. And so all you fathers, all you dads, all you pops out there, all your grandfathers, all you stepfathers, all you people who provide that kind of love and guidance for a young boy or girl, no matter who you are, Father's Day. Doesn't mean you have to be the biological father, even the stepfather. Maybe you could just be a key male role model influence in a kid's life. So happy Father's Day to all y'all tomorrow. Make sure you're here right after the game for your Padres postcast. Jim Grieshaber, Call Me Grease on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. We're free on YouTube. Myself and Javier Reyes. We have the postcast after every game, hosted by yours truly. The podcast day in and day out since before the pandemic, hosted by Javier Reyes. And we are free right here on YouTube where you're watching live right now, if you're watching right now, and the numbers are through the roof. Smash that subscribe, hit the bell so you get the alerts when you're coming your way. We're coming your way with more content, and come on into the comments and the chat room, say what up to your boy. Meanwhile, if you're listening after the fact and you're downloading the podcast, oh yeah, right here, Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, Podbean, iHeart, thank you very much. Come on in, say hi, subscribe as well, and then on Roku. You're down with OTT. Yeah, you know me. This whole party. No parties tonight, but happy Father's Day, everybody. JD's third. Good night to you, too. Appreciate you. Rama Murti says, tough loss tonight, but blown saves happen. Suarez is human. Got to rally and get a win tomorrow. You're right about that, Rama. And thank you, TN, JD's third, Rama, all you guys, Chris Dolce, everybody coming into the chat to say what's up. All you watching, all of you listening. Thank you for being here. Same channel, myself, Javier Reyes, Postcast, the podcast, right here, Locked On Padres on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Again, 1:10 first pitch. We're here after the game of the Postcast tomorrow. Until then, Padre fan, keep your game tight, baby, and your mind right. Happy Father's Day to all my fellow pops out there. Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, at Jim Grease _ on social media. Give me a follow, make you holla. I'm out.